Welcome on board the USS DOLPHIN AGSS-555. The AG stands for Auxiliary General Purpose, and this was one of two AGSS submarines the U.S. Navy has built. The Dolphin holds the record for the deepest dive. It's a now featured attraction at the San Diego Maritime Museum here in San Diego, California. So down below in the description of this YouTube video, you can get the link to the museum and set up a visit to the museum on your next visit to San Diego. I highly recommend it. This boat has tremendous significance to the United States Navy Submarine Service. Now, why am I here? I'm Pete Nield. I'm the owner-operator of SeeStories, which is an online ebook. And this is just another method of introducing people to my SeeStories ebook. Again, down below, in the description of the YouTube video, you'll see the links to the webpage SeeStories, which is an ebook. It's a rather unique ebook because you can read the chapters in any order you wish. Now, I never sailed, set to sea, even was on the USS Dolphin while I was in the Navy. But in later years, I met a guy by the name of Glenn Hunsaker, who was intimately related to the Dolphin. He was a scientist, engineer, and working with the sonar systems on board the Dolphin. And it was thanks to him that they addressed a lot of the issues that I came up with standing sonar watches on board various submarines. Now, one of the mysteries, maybe somebody can answer this mystery, is why the hull number 555? It was way out of the numerical order because the Dolphin was not launched until well after the 563 class submarine diesel boats, of which I rode 3, Tang, Gudgeon, and Trout. I also rode nuclear-powered boats, SSN, in my time in the Navy. So I got quite familiar with submarines, different variations of the theme within the class, outside of the class. But the Dolphin is unique, and that's the primary reason why I'm here on board the Dolphin doing this introduction to SeeStories. We're sitting in the crew's mess. It's where I spend a hell of a lot of time. On board a submarine, your life gets really simplified, and there's stories within the SeeStories webpage, ebook, that you can download and read all about. I talk about sleeping, I talk about eating, and that was the primary function of this location. And oh, by the way, this is being taken on a 360-degree camera. So, again, in the description below, if you want to watch this in a 360-degree YouTube video, the link to that video is in the description below. By the way, below also includes the enlisted quarters for this particular submarine. They're right below us. I'm not going to talk too much about the Dolphin other than I crossed the paths with Glenn Hunsaker because there was a technology in sonar that was manufactured by a company called Spectral Dynamics here in San Diego. And we made a major leap from the technology that I used when I was in the Navy to when I was out of the Navy. And one of the people that caught on to the breakthrough in technology was Glenn Hunsaker. So he became one of my customers. And for the first time, I'm going to tell a short sea story about an amusing story between me and Glenn Hunsaker. Even though we had significantly reduced the overall size of the instrument that was going to serve a specific purpose. It didn't fit in Dolphin. Dolphin's only 20 foot of beam. It's pretty small. And I won't get into the details of why. But so space was very much a premium. And this new analyzer that we built really didn't fit in the compartment that he was allowed to fill in down here. So he and I made a modification to his unit, putting the power supply for it in a separate little package that could be tucked in a small space. And I was helping install in his office up on Point Loma across the bay. And I was behind the equipment rack when a competitor of mine from Hewlett-Packard came in trying to pitch the same type of instrumentation to Glenn. But he was already a customer of mine. But Ken, Glenn being the guy, the polite guy that he is, he was listening to what the guy from HP had to say. And it went on for about 10 minutes. All the while, I'm behind the equipment rack. They can't see me. So Glenn finally stopped him and said, "Look, I appreciate you coming down and talking to me about your analyzer, but I've already made my decision from one of your competitors. I went with Spectral Dynamics, and the primary reason that I went with Spectral Dynamics is they are local and they stand behind their product. As a matter of fact, one of them is standing behind the product right now, and that was my cue. I stuck my head out from around the equipment rack and I said, 'Hi, Pete Neal.' And he folded up his papers and left. And Glenn became a true long-term customer of Spectral Dynamics here in San Diego. So now we're in the cruise mess. The other thing different from the 563 class that I rode, when I compare to this submarine, is we're in the cruise mess. The crew on the Dolphin hovered around 20 people. Maybe an additional 3 to 4, maybe 5 scientists working on whatever the project was that they were going to sea for that particular time. And then 3 officers. So the crew was 1/3 the number of crewmen that we had on the 563 class. And in the 563 class, the cruise mess is where you spent a good deal of your time not only eating, but playing cards. And there would be 3 tables about this size, oriented differently, 1, 2, and 3. And the cruise mess, the galley area, that's just across the far side of the room here, was in a separate room further outward. So there was a little bit more room here, but consider that you're eating in shifts. So 1 table for a crew of 20, 25, maybe 30, this was sufficient. So I'm not going to show you any more of the submarine. The Dolphin, that's up to you to come visit and take a tour yourself, because that's where you get into the details of seeing what life is like on a submarine. And to entice that, I wish you can visit SeeStories.online and read the stories that you wish. The ebook is for sale, but there's a number of short stories on that website that are free and gives you a touch of what the rest of the ebook is like. So thank you for your time. Welcome aboard.